I am Mr. Meehan, a history teacher at Middlefield Collegiate.
Hi, my name is Roshan, aka Crooks. I'm a grade 12 student at Middlefield Collegiate Institute.
Hi, I'm Dong, and I'm a grade 12 student.
My name is Praveen, I'm a grade 12 student.
I'm Ganesh, and I'm a first year university student.
Hi, my name is Jacob, and I'm a grade 9.
Hi, my name is Kareem, I'm a grade 11 student.
My name is Mr. Morton. I'm an English teacher here at Middlefield Collegiate Institute in
Bombings.
Bombs, explosion, 9/11.
That's what I hear. No offense.
I honestly don't know.
Bomb and explosion and innocent people dying.
Osama bin Laden.
Well, many people have a very closed-minded, stereotypical view on the word terrorist. Media defines a terrorist as usually a Muslim person.
See a guy with a gun strapped up, covered up in a bunch of scarves.
The image I see would be someone in a turban, someone with like something strapped to their chest, someone that's yelling, someone that's in a public area.
I think I know why, but that's what comes to my mind. Bombs going off and danger.
I don't know that I've got a specific image that comes to my mind. I know that there might be an image that many people sort of stereotypically think of. There certainly seems to be an image being portrayed on the media of what a terrorist might look like and the ethnicity and whatnot. But I don't necessarily have that. I haven't buy into that.
Definition of terrorism.
It's really, really tough to get a concrete answer for terrorism or terrorist.
In my opinion, a terrorist comes in many.
Person who blows up places.
Somebody who just kills people for no reason.
Many different.
The use of the word terrorist and terrorism in the media certainly seems to be geared around a certain image, whether that's totally by chance or whether that's a fabrication that somebody's trying to actively create is a different question. But I certainly think that there might be a stereotypical image that's certainly emerging based on the use of language in the media.
At this point, what many people have been trained is that a terrorist is someone who does something that violates very, very important rules and or regulations of a particular society.
And
or someone also that perhaps compromises national security in some way as well. Again, it's very, very difficult to come up with a short definition for that word. I'm also always in changing my mind about what that definition means.
What do you know about freedom fighters?
People who fight for freedom.
Someone who fights for freedom?
Someone who fights for freedom.
I think people try to help other people with their rights and the laws.
Freedom fighter is pretty much anyone standing up to any wrong that like the government that's put up. Like let's say a perfect example would be like if a government is doing bad to all its people and a group kind of like joined up and they rebelled against the government. That's kind of what a freedom fighter is, fighting for people's rights.
I think of someone that's like a revolutionist, like the guy from Cuba, I don't know his name. I think of Bahan, he's a Tamil LCT leader, people like that.
Someone who not only fights for something good and righteous, but something that they believe in very, very passionately. That's why freedom fighting and terrorism is paradoxical.
Like that of a martyr, I suppose, if I were to ask somebody the idea of somebody fighting for an idea or a cause, somebody willing to die for this higher purpose, bigger than themselves.
Okay, can you see the similarities between these two terms?
Terrorism and freedom fighter? Yeah. Yes, I do see similarities because it is on the perspective of the person that's looking at it, depending on if it's a civilian versus someone of political power.
Okay, Do you believe that a country's freedom fighter can be falsely classified as a terrorist for another?
Definitely. It's all in perspective, right?
Yes, because usually everyone has a meaning for everyone. There's a reason for everything, and I think terrorists are trying to be freedom fighters.
Well, freedom fighter is fighting for freedom, but terrorist is risking his life to blow people. I don't really see something.
Terrorist is somebody who is trying to go against what the people don't want. So, in a scenario where everything's perfectly fine, like Canada example, we have a bunch of people that rebelled and trying to make us into something that we don't want. That's how I see terrorists.
Similarities between these two? If so, do you believe that countries' freedom fighters can be easily falsified as a terrorist?
That's quite a leading question. You've given me the answer you expect, that there is similarities between them and that they can be misconstrued based on your side. But I certainly would agree that both sides of a conflict generally think that they have some stake and that they're right. And in categorizing somebody else as your enemy, you might call them a terrorist, you might call them all kinds of things. I mean, let's not forget you're trying to kill them, right? So certainly I think that there could be ideas, higher ideals that fuel this kind of action, which might be thought of as freedom fighting on one side and terrorism on the other in certain circumstances anyway.
Do you believe that after the 9/11 attacks, there's now a stereotypical image of the terrorist that is imprinted in our minds?
2 words, yes, absolutely.
Yes, a very big one. Everybody's been blaming it on Muslims, or most people. It's very...
Do you know what happened on the 9/11?
Yeah, someone like drove a plane into the building or something.
Do you know who's to blame for that?
Some of it I
And do you define him as a terrorist or a freedom fighter?
both, I guess. Depends who you're looking at, right?
So could you expand on that a bit?
Okay, just like I guess Americans consider him a terrorist, but like people from like his country also consider him a freedom fighter, right? Because like he's helping them out and stuff.
Yes, I see you, and I think of 9/11 thing, not being racist, you say. I see a guy in those long silk kind of thing wrapped up around with that red, white, yellow scarf. Or red, white scarf. What they got? No offense.
Trained to think this way. In this age of high of mass media, you know, ask yourself how many screens you look at every day. It used to be just a television screen, the family television set. Now they're everywhere. We have them. There are more students who seem to have handhelds now than not. So we're always looking at screens, and these screens train us to think certain things. So,
You believe that terrorism has revolutionized violence?
I don't know that terrorism has revolutionized violence. I think that war certainly has. The weapons and the technologies that exist are a result of war. I'm not sure that terrorism as a whole. I think they are keeping pace with armies around the world. They're certainly using some of the same weapons that they buy on the black market and strategies certainly. But I don't know if it's a driving force or if it's following modern warfare, modern armies.
terror or terrorism is an extreme method of trying to obtain change, I would think. Therefore, I would say that it's very revolutionary. There's a lot of passion invested in this, so it's someone who wants great change, I would think, or wants to make a great political statement.
Feel safe in Canada, being a neighbor of a country that was attacked by a terrorist?
Yeah, I feel safe. I don't think anything's gonna happen to us.
Yes, that's just one incident, and we shouldn't change our views on what other people are.
But do you feel safe?
Yes, I do.
Personally, I'd say I feel safe. I don't think, just due to another country's conflict, I don't think that neighboring countries would rarely have to be involved in it, which is pretty much like I don't go up to my neighbor's house to make his life decisions, the same thing. So if really a country was in war beside it, I wouldn't try to get really involved unless it was something like aiding the country or something like that. Like aiding the country as in like helping them out, like if let's say if a country just had a bad like disaster and like we were trying to build up the community again, like a donation, so I'd give it in like that. But nothing.
I feel completely safe in Toronto, in Canada. I think that the idea of us being constantly fearful of a terrorist attack is a really wonderful political tool for the people in power who want you to be afraid and want you to be fearful of this stuff so that they can lead you in whichever way they choose. Your or the population's fear opens the door to all kinds of reduction of civil liberties and consolidation of people's power. And that's, I think, what I fear more so, far more so, than a terrorist attack that might harm my body, you know, a plane crashing into a building.
Hi, I'm Dog.
No, you don't have to start all over.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, now we'll just start all over.
Tabo Elub, yeah.
Edub.
And Edub.
All right, thanks.
Oh, hi.
Holy ass!
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ian.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. So what's your definition of a terrorist?
Mo.